Get out!
Where the fuck was I, you cock? Leave it!
And he storms into his bedroom and comes out with a penknife.
He has self-harmed before.
He's just miserable and angry.
I can't help if I don't know there's something wrong.
I'm fed up with feeling like this.
I'm Jamie Robinson. I'm living in Clevedon and I'm 16. Basically, I bottle everything up inside me, like little things, big things. I bottle them up and let them build up and build up and build up, and then I just release them in one big go.
So fucking computer, fucking leave it! Get out!
Where the fuck was I, you cock? Breaking things, throwing things around. I've threatened Dad with a knife before. Mum's scared that I'll try and kill myself or start self-harming again.
Jamie's anger has nearly destroyed his relationship with his parents, and some traumatic bullying at school is putting his future at risk. Dr. Rachel Andrew is a chartered clinical psychologist who specialises in helping teenagers with their anger. She will work with Jamie over the next 3 months to help him address his problems and give him a chance of a normal life.
I think the one mistake we can all make is thinking that there's one catch-all answer for anger and that there's one solution for everyone. So you're not going to hear me go in and say just count to 10 or take a deep breath, because it's really individual what someone's angry about. I mean, if it was that easy, wouldn't we all be less angry by now?
16-year-old Jamie lives in Clevedon with his mum a local teacher, his dad a builder, and 14-year-old sister Emily. He has attempted suicide 3 times and regularly self-harms. Jamie only has a few friends and left school after being the victim of bullying. He has been homeschooling this year, but he spends most of his time in his bedroom playing computer games.
Hiya, Jamie. Nice to meet you. You going?
Yep.
So they've called you child molester and
Yep.
gay.
Yeah.
And what sort of other things? Give me an idea of
Freak, they called me after I tried to commit suicide a few years back. And as soon as I did that, they kept telling me to go and do it again because no one wanted me there.
Right.
Well, it got to the point where it was just completely untenable. He was walking out of every class, trashing, swearing a lot.
I just get seriously pissed off, smash a few things, and then I'd be fine.
Has it always been this way since being little for you? Is it, you know?
I don't remember most of the past because I try to forget it.
Is that bad?
Jamie may shut out the past, but his parents have been trying to cope with his angry behaviour for years.
He's always been argumentative and difficult. It was end of year 8, he took his overdose because of bullying.
When the stuff started getting broken was before he was self-harming,
Yes.
wasn't it?
The last 18 months, I'd probably say, it's just got worse and worse and worse.
I have no idea what to say to Jamie, what to do.
Yeah.
Kev expected a little boy that would want to help with the DIY stuff and helping the guy and do all that, and Jamie just isn't.
Yeah.
It's starting to affect what he can do socially because people say, well, no, I don't want Jamie there because he's going to go off on one.
Yeah. Alongside him being angry, he's upset and hurt about things in the past, but also feels quite ashamed and guilty about some of the things that he's done.
Although Jamie's been homeschooling for most of this year, he has to go back to school for his exams. Things haven't gone too well.
So you just sat there for the hour and then came out?
Yeah, I didn't write anything.
Seriously, you didn't put anything
I just
down?
sat there and didn't do anything. I know I've screwed up in the past 4 years. Like everything that's happened, I just decided I can't be bothered anymore. I just gave up on everything.
He's very much a loner, I think, and that does worry me. He's got a very, very low opinion of himself, although sometimes he comes over as being quite sort of cocky, really, and sure of himself, but he's not at all. I'm just get very scared about what he might do.
As well as Mum's distress, the video diary has also captured Jamie's latest anger outburst.
What are you banging, Jay? I hope you're not destroying anything. You were fine when I picked you up.
Jesus fucking Christ!
What's the matter?
So what's happening here?
Pardon? What's the matter?
That's Mum not listening to me.
Well, not really, Jamie, I don't know.
When I say fuck off!
You're feeling worried because you're wondering, thinking about what might...
Well, what he's doing, this is it. I mean, he does tend to... He's never lashed out at a person.
I've only actually hurt someone once.
But it's when it goes quiet that I always fret about it. He has self-harmed before, and he has... You know, he's done worse before.
He's just miserable and angry.
But you're there feeling worried and confused and not knowing what's going on. And you're in there feeling miserable and angry.
Very angry.
What could Mum have done to help you?
He left me alone.
Right.
When I told her to go away, to go away.
Just getting Mum and Jamie to communicate better would be a good first step. But I need to get a better understanding for the underlying reason for Jamie's anger. I have some practical techniques that I'm hoping will give me a better idea. Jamie's most comfortable in front of a computer, which makes it the ideal way to test his emotional responses. Just mark on each scale how you feel.
Death never is that happy. That was rather depressing. These are so depressing now.
He's almost got a heightened awareness to sadness in other people, but he seemed less able to pick up on an emotion like fear.
He just looks like he's been out a bit too long on a Friday night.
One stands out particularly in my mind, and it was a picture of a man dragging a woman into a van. Jamie's interpretation of that picture was that it was two drunk people having a laugh, and that really surprised me.
Jamie's also been given a standard questionnaire to fill out, and the answers prove revealing.
It seems to me that Jamie's presented himself in exactly the way he thinks I might expect him to. Very depressed, very anxious, very angry, very disruptive, with very low self-esteem. From what I've observed in other situations, that's not always the case. I think often when young people are bullied, they feel very rejected by their peer group, obviously. So a way to defend against that happening again is to put on a front. So at least then if a young person is rejected, it's because of the front they've put on rather than the real person. So who are you? Tell me who you are truly, and not this person. Tell me who you are, not this person who you present sometimes.
Laid back and calm and just like chilled out, having a good time, having a laugh. Just simple.
I think that's the person I met too and walked up to school with yesterday. And that person, that's it. I couldn't understand why anyone would have any problems with that person.
I just want a way of getting it all out without breaking things and hurting myself.
Jamie may say he wants to change, but a couple of days later, a small problem with his computer becomes a big row which traumatises the whole family.
Oi! Shut up, Dad! Hacking the language! Dude, you're a cockhead! What? You are a cockhead! You saw a fucking computer, you fucking leave it! Get out! Where the fuck was I, you cock?
What are you doing in here now? Why have you just put your fist through my bloody window?
You fucking...
What have I done?
Fucking me off! I was in my fucking room! You want my computer sorted out? You leave it fucking alone! Right, I'll plug it.
And Jamie's gone from a completely broken window in our bedroom door. Emily's upset outside.
Because things aren't going exactly his way, I get a gobful of abuse out of him again. I'm really, really getting sick and tired of it.
We seem to make a little bit of progress and everything seems okay, and then all of a sudden it's all back to square one. Because we just got to the stage where we thought everything was going okay. Aww. I'm really tired and fed up.
I bet.
And upset. And it's almost like he thinks, well, if I'm in a mood, therefore everybody should just leave me alone and allow me to swear at them and be aggressive and intimidating.
The worst incident was he put his fist through the dining room door and he's effing and blinding at me, and he storms into his bedroom and comes out with a penknife.
Right.
And this is when he's going, right, I'll fucking stab you or I'll stab you.
Right.
And I just got out of the way then. I don't know what he's capable of. That's the reason now that I just back off. He frightens me sometimes.
Yeah.
On the walk to school, Dr. Rachel hears Jamie's side of the story and gets to see the real Jamie when he drops the front and starts to tell her as it really is.
Dad did what Mum did, essentially, and carried on shouting at me when I was in my room. So I came out, put my fist through the window. I just wanted someone to talk to, really.
It's a shame almost that Dad can't provide that in a way, because almost sometimes it seems like you would quite like to talk to Dad more.
Yeah. So just he seems to care more about his stuff than whether I'm hurt or not. It's like when I put my foot through the door, no one asks, so was your foot all right?
Yeah.
Because I got pissed off, so obviously it would be my fault if I hurt my foot.
Because I get the impression that you need to feel wanted, and you need to feel...
I need to feel like I need to feel needed.
Jamie is not the only one in distress. His violent outbursts have upset Sister Emily.
And it's not very fair because he always gets loads of attention anyway, just because he's really bad. And they have to, like, give him attention. And I don't get noticed at all. Like, when I was being bullied, I didn't bother telling them because I thought they wouldn't really care, because they obviously care about Jamie more than me, because he's just got more wrong with him and stuff.
I used to hate it when they argued and I, like, cried every time. But now, because it's just so often, it's just a getting used to it thing. It used to be me and Jamie fighting all the time.
Right.
And Mum and Dad were like really annoyed with it. But then suddenly it all changed and Jamie was always angry at Dad and was nice to me.
It just sounds really hard for everyone, you know, to deal with.
Dr. Rachel's technique is not to tell you how to think, but to get you to think for yourself. The box exercise is a way for Jamie to see his anger from the outside.
The main task today with Jamie was to get him to think about his anger. He'd already mentioned that he thought of his anger as an angry box. What do you think this is here?
It's my black box.
Right.
Am I opening this one as well?
Yeah.
Another black box.
Okay. So what emotions make the box bigger?
Depression.
Okay.
And I guess anyway, when I was still self-harming, it helps a hell of a lot. But the next day when you wake up, you feel regret, pain, like you've let people down.
And let's put the cutting in too.
Yeah, I suppose Dad could go in that box as well.
Dad.
He gets in my way when I'm trying to walk away, if he's in front of me.
The box loves you being depressed and gets bigger the more upset and hurt and angry you are. Do you want to close the lid on them? That's pretty full.
It is, yeah.
Doesn't surprise me then, when this box gets full, it makes you do those things that you hate doing. We used that today to get him to think about the sorts of things that made that box even bigger and more able to control him and to make him lose his temper, and also what we would need to do to make that box smaller so that he was more in control of the things that he did.
On the upside, Jamie has managed to land a part-time job. In the next session with Dr. Rachel, she's going to concentrate on the positive aspects of his life.
Making people happy.
Okay.
People being proud of me, saying they're proud.
Yeah.
And possibly being proud of myself.
Yeah.
Yes.
It almost feels like it is becoming less powerful.
Yeah. But I know, admittedly, I do things that really do piss Dad off, like breaking things that he's only just fixed. I don't care about scaring Dad because he scares me sometimes.
Right.
But scaring girls, especially Mum, I don't like scaring girls.
I can tell when you're being yourself and when you're being the person that almost you think I would want to see, or, you know, like amongst your friends and that.
Yeah.
And I actually like better the real you.
I think you saw the real me when we were outside.
Which was fantastic.
So I think it's me that's doing everything because I don't want people to see what's inside.
How do you feel now?
Reasonably happy.
So kind of a bit apprehensive,
Yeah.
but thinking things could move forward.
I'm starting to think they can.
And we're not finished yet, but this is a great first step.
Yeah.
This morning I got a text message from Jamie which was really exciting. So it said, good morning, I hope you're well. Just thought I'd tell you that I think I did really well in my exam. I can get a maximum of 89 out of 100, and then a smiley face from Jamie. I mean, that's incredible, because if I think back to when I first met Jamie, He was saying he wasn't interested in the exams, he thought he was going to fail them all, and, you know, was very flat when he talks about them.
Although he has been a lot better, I just tend to try and get out of the way. I don't want to get involved, and hopefully that'll be something that I'd like to see put right.
Things are improving, but as we can see, Dad is still feeling emotionally raw. The key now is to begin building bridges between father and son. And the stakes are high, as I've learned that Jamie never feels able to apologise.
I suppose it was, yeah, I'm sorry for, because it did go very over the top. So I'm sorry for that, really, yeah. Just like, because it's always gone over the top.
It just came from nowhere.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I'd done. I know you said that you were in a mood, but I wasn't aware that you were, or that I'd put you in a bad mood or anything. It's nice to hear, because I felt that was a proper apology, rather than that normally you just go, well, I'm sorry.
It almost felt like you were saying to Dad, look at me, I'm hurting.
I was pissed off. I wanted to show that I was in pain.
Why were you hurting? I didn't know that you were hurting. I can't help if I don't know there's something wrong.
Yeah, I know.
So what gets in the way of you being able to say that to Dad? Because that'll be an important thing to move this forward.
I feel uncomfortable telling both Mum and Dad things. The only way Dad finds out how I feel at the moment is flat when I get really angry.
Could you begin by even just a few words to Dad?
The tone of voice would make a huge difference.
Right.
With other people, everybody's got a lot of time for Jamie. They don't believe what we say happens at home.
When you see him in that social situation, how do you feel about him as your son?
I'm really proud of him, because when he's somewhere else, he's so nice.
Yeah. When was the last time you heard Dad say he was proud of you?
Don't know.
So what was it like hearing him say how proud he is of you when he sees you in those situations?
It's quite good to hear, actually.
And I think this is the starting point. It'd be great to see you having more of these conversations, you being able to say to Dad the way you feel, and Dad being able to say to you.
Yeah.
What we were able to talk about is his interest in computer games. We managed to tie that in with the idea of Jamie creating a computer game around anger.
Rachel sees Jamie's expertise with the computer as a way of breaking his spiral of self-destruction. And she has a surprise for him. She has arranged for Jamie to meet the world's leading computer games company, Ubisoft.
What we're going to do is think about a computer game as well.
Okay.
So what I'd really like you to do after I've gone is to do almost like a frame. So a really, really sort of positive scene. And when I come back to see you, we can have a really good look at it and talk about what that looks like.
Yeah.
All right then?
Okay.
Okay. See you soon.
Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
Father's Day today. Jamie's been okay, actually. His Father's Day present to me is he's moved another big pile of the building blocks from off the drive onto where the extension's been built. So that was a really nice thing.
A month later, and Rachel is checking in with Jamie to see how he's getting on.
I'm not really getting as angry as much, and when I do, I apologise.
Good morning.
Hello. Hello.
Thank you.
I'm starting to see the good sides of everything rather than just the bad.
There have been positive changes. He does spend a lot more time downstairs with us now as a family.
When he got angry, it was just scary, so I ended up being scared of him. But now I'm not scared of him at all anymore.
So did you get anything on paper then?
Good news from the family, but Rachel is about to find out what it's like to be let down by Jamie. He's not even started on the game idea.
And you didn't do the computer game?
No, but I was thinking about it.
Okay. We could go and turn up with nothing, or you could go with your ideas and really sell it to them. The important thing is it's you and you're out there, and it's the way you present yourself. It's important for us to take him out of the family context and put him in a situation where he needs to prove himself with people who aren't going to make excuses for him.
3 months since they first met, Dr. Rachel is taking Jamie to Paris for his big test. But Jamie has let Dr. Rachel down. he has drawn a blank with the sketch for his anger game. Jamie is getting an exclusive behind-the-scenes tour of games giant Ubisoft, makers of King Kong, Resident Evil and Splinter Cell. Unlike school, Jamie sees that the work environment is a place where he can feel included. It's a glimpse into the future, a future where he might be able to fit in.
One of the tasks I left Jamie with was to design some key scenes of a computer game about anger, so to place him in a real position of responsibility. What Jamie told me this morning is he's got lots of ideas in his head, but he hasn't managed to put anything down on paper, which was a bit disappointing, really. So what I'm really hoping is that when Jamie pitches his ideas, that he's going to be able to hold his own.
Thank you.
Looking forward to hearing your idea.
Yep. It starts off as strategy, then moves on to first-person shooter. So it just combines the two together.
Jamie's initial pitch lacked focus, and the team do not look impressed.
But you could still be attacked.
But Jamie manages to turn it round. He is quick with his answers and starts to impress the creative team.
In the order you give to your army, you do it through the map.
You could basically choose your own map.
With his new skills and with Dr. Rachel by his side, Jamie has successfully delivered his pitch.
It's becoming a bit like the ultimate game that could speak to people, you know.
If you imagine the future working in video games, engineers, game designers...
Yeah, the programming side.
Programming side.
Yeah.
Doing stuff.
Yeah. That's the way.
How do you think today went?
Really good. Really enjoyed it.
What?
A lot better than I expected in ways. And this kind of pulls me towards the programme for games.
You seem like you fitted in there.
Yeah.
Did you feel that?
Yeah.
What did you think of yourself sat there with them?
Included.
Right. And is that the first time you felt that?
In a while, yeah.
I think when I first met him, Jamie shifted from being one person to another because he felt so insecure inside. I think the Jamie I see now is a much more confident one, and is much more open about what he's really like and also what he wants, which makes me hopeful that he's going to make some fresh choices about the future, which are much more healthy for him.
He's got a lot better, actually. It's easy to tell that she's been here.
Even when he's got very angry, got very frustrated and angry a couple of weeks ago, he took responsibility for it. The following day, he tried to make amends for it, and he accepted that the way he'd behaved was his fault.
So I've really enjoyed meeting you all and working with you all. And I'm so glad to hear some of the positive changes that have started happening. Well, I feel really confident that things are just going to kind of carry on. Nice to see you.
You have a good trip.
You take care, and you.
When Jamie received his exam results, he did better than expected. He passed in 5 subjects. All of the young people featured in this series continued to receive help and support from Dr. Rachel.
Hi, Dr. Rachel, just like to say thank you so much for everything you've done. You've changed my life for the good, obviously. Ask anyone that knows me, the changes have been dramatic.